We're on the side of the highway. We have bears. We have bears.
Hey, we're Brandon and Alyssa. We saved $30,000 so we can travel for a year.
For the first part of our adventure, we've decided to move into our Prius for an epic summer road trip from San Diego to Canada.
We have no itinerary, no idea how far we'll get, and no clue what we're doing.
All we know is we plan to go until one of us decides, here's good.
Driving the 99 from Vancouver to Whistler, and it is awe-inspiring. The views are completely incredible. There's these just rocky cliff sides that have been blown out to make way for this highway, and the whole ocean side that you drive along is littered with these islands, but the islands are like forest-covered mountains in the middle of the water. It is billed as one of the most beautiful drives that you can do, and it's holding up to that reputation totally. It's so good.
Last night I was dreaming out loud. California sun was making my eyes dry. Next year in the winter, let's give it a try. I'll keep on dreaming out loud tonight. Summer's over and you still haven't called me back. We're just getting older. Soon enough it'll be too late to act. Let's do it again. Let's ride on that waves of gold.
There's this amazing, massive mountain on the side of the highway. There are people scaling this beast.
Last night I was dreaming out loud. California sun was making my eyes dry. Can we still make it happen? It's worth a try.
We have made it into Whistler on the Sea to Sky Highway. It's been one of the most amazing drives. I am so grateful to finally be here. This is like, after spending a couple days in Vancouver and making it all the way to Whistler, this has been our goal, was to make it all the way up the coast and into Canada and make some of the sleepless nights totally worth it. This place is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I've been dreaming out loud tonight.
We stopped in Whistler, had a nice little walk around. It's a cute little touristy town in the summer. We got coffee. We almost got a ticket because we thought 1 hour free meant you didn't have to pay, but you got to enter your license plate. Whatever. We didn't get a ticket, so we're good. Canadian people are nice. We are leaving Whistler because there's nowhere to sleep without tons of mosquitoes, and we don't know where we're headed. We're making our way towards Banff, and we have 1 week until we leave on a flight somewhere, so we got to get to Banff. This drive is insanely pretty, and the mountains are huge. I would definitely come back in winter to see it all snow-capped. Also, there are bear signs everywhere. Like every 10 feet, there was a sign in Whistler saying, "Don't feed the bears."
Everything I've seen on Overlander, everyone mentions that bears have passed through their campsites, so
That's why we're trying to go, like, to the next little town.
it's also still not cold enough to have the windows up, so
Yeah,
we're just basically bear
67 right now,
lives.
so we gotta find somewhere where there's not as much bear activity. North towards Kamloops.
Kamloops!
Woo! A few updates, like on just weird stuff on the road trip. I've only gotten bitten by mosquitoes in Redwood once on my face, which you probably have seen that video. And then yesterday in Vancouver, we went to this weird beach garden area and I got annihilated. So I had to take 3 Benadryl today, so I'm like so tired, which is also why we're not staying as long in Whistler. And then rain.
Has not once.
No rain the whole time.
Nothing. There was a
We're
light
on day-
drizzle and a dampness when we were in Oregon, but it has been clear, yeah.
We're on day 53, and aside from like a little bit of drizzle, there's been no rain, which is very weird, but also I guess that's summertime.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. The whole drive, you're just like this, with your chin up, like looking straight up, because the mountains are so steep and so high and right in your face.
For the steep winding road, no stopping. It's a 20-kilometer footage. 20 is like 7.
This guy did it.
Yeah. On the downhill too. I'll turn off the AC, or you think we're fine?
Yeah. I don't know why I'm a little nervous about this.
I think the only reason that the signage was that intense was because of the winter.
Yeah.
We pulled over to help these guys. There was these 2 old men on the side of the road in their RV. So we pulled over like we can't help at all, but
Can't even bring them back to town or anything. We're about 15 kilometers, which is God knows how many miles away from the previous town, but they don't have any cell reception. We're out in the middle of nowhere. There was all these warning signs that said, like,
Don't
to take it
overheat,
easy,
yeah.
don't overheat. So they overheated, all their oil spilled onto the road. And we were just unable, they don't know who to call or anything. And the town that's just below the mountain is very small. So they're like a little bit SOL. But this nice lady came barreling down the mountain, a big truck, and she goes, "You look like you're in a bit of a pickle." And she had the thickest Canadian accent. And they were like, "Do you think you could maybe help tow us to the side of the road?" And she said, "I'm game to try." We added moral support.
Brandon saw a pull out on the side of the road. It looks to be like its own little island right off. I think it's right here. So maybe inaccessible to bears. So we're going back to see if we can camp there. Out.
Thanks. This is not a bad turnout.
It's insane. There's a trail here, if you're adventurous enough. So I think this would go down as like the coolest place ever to camp, but we still have 2.5 hours to where we were trying to go tonight. So I think it's just too soon to camp for the night, because we'll just have to make up those 2 hours tomorrow. And all we have to eat is tuna, so that's kind of a bear attractant.
Yeah.
This is on the highway.
4, 5, 5 waterfalls.
I feel like we've said this a few times already on the trip. I'm calling it now. This is the prettiest drive that we've ever done.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So this said South Caribou District, and we have yet to get to the part in the guidebook that Eleanor made us about caribou, because we've been so worried about bears. So I'm going to real quick research what a caribou is.
Yeah, hey, peep that glossary and find out what page it's on.
Brandon and Alyssa, travel guide for Canadian animals and Canadian history. It's come in handy so far. All right, caribou, page 8. inshore mammals that are 5 feet tall, thick brown and white fur that keeps them warm, large antlers and flat, wide hooves. They eat berries, leaves, and grass. They use their antlers to fight, and they live together in groups. They can migrate longer distance than any other land animal. Perfect. So we're looking for like a bigger deer.
I think it's just bigger in stereo up here. Yo, take the 99 up through Vancouver to Whistler, across to whatever Kamloops is. It's the
We
best.
weren't even supposed to drive this road. We were supposed to go from Vancouver, the one, just to Banff. And we decided just on a whim to go up to Whistler to see what it is. And this has been the coolest drive.
Be careful, it looks sketchy.
So good. I can't do it.
No?
No,
I'll
but
do
you
it.
can.
Not sure where this goes. It's sketchy. Oh! This thing is just like on the side of the road. It's held up by 2 logs. Clearly man-made. She got the balls to do it.
So scary. It's so not my thing.
Yeah! Now we trespass. Hey, bear! Hopefully there's no bears. This drive has been so cool because you can see where the waterfalls have shaped the mountains. Like every winter, the snow comes and it freezes, and then when it melts, it goes down the same path and creates a river, and the mountain is changed. And I feel like people are the same way because every year that passes, every winter, every new experience, you are still the same person. The foundation stays the same, but there's still a little bit of change that's happening, and you're constantly evolving like that. You're making new crevices.
And that has been Thoughts with Brandon.
Lillooet.
Guaranteed rugged. Brandon's making us a PB&J. And this is how we stay on budget. Wait out the last 3 days. Brandon just asked why this town is a town, and I read it on the last highway pull-off that when the Brits owned the east side of the Canadian Rockies, there was a guy named Fraser who was trying to come over the Rockies because this is like drunk history. So when the Brits owned the east side of Canada, this guy Fraser was trying to find a place that he could do fur trade with the native Canadians, like the indigenous people. So he like traversed this crazy part of this now Fraser River across the Canadian Rockies, and that's how this Lillooet town came to be. He was trying to find a new place for fur trade with the native people.
That's pretty weird.
They also wouldn't go with him in this trek that he was making because it was like too dangerous. And then when he crossed over, he found like opposition of the indigenous people that were on the other side. Does that make sense? And they were ready to attack because he was coming into their area. And they didn't because he had smoked salmon and they had never had it before. So he taught them how to smoke salmon.
That'll change it.
Fraser, Lillooet. This is your Indigenous Canadian history.
We got tractors. We saw signs for avalanches, livestock, tractors, horses, elk, people walking, bears. It's got everything.
We pulled over because I saw a sign that said Cow Moose Protection Project. And I would just like to say that the cow moose was not in my Canadian table of contents as to things to look out for. So now I'm extra worried.
Look out for the cow moose, and also it's 100 kilometers an hour. Be on your toes, bro.
I swear my life that I just saw the blackest bear and babies. At first I thought it was a cow because it was so black. I'm making Brandon turn around. I hope it's still there. Keep going. It's like where the like where you would think cattle would be. That's why my mind couldn't process. Yeah, like right here. Look over. Dark black right here. As black as can be.
In this area.
It was right here, yeah.
Now they're gone.
Ugh.
Right here. Oh, you're right.
Is it a bear?
Yeah.
I
Look at-
told you.
there's
I
a little
told you.
tiny-
I need to see that. Why is this one still here?
Oh my God.
I'm so glad we turned around. That was a whole family. Those were still black bears, not grizzly bears.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's great news for us. There was a family of bears. I thought it was a cow. I'm so glad we turned around. Thank you so much.
No cow moose. Just more bears. Oh, it's so cool. I get the little one just ran off. He was like
They were
behind
so
and then he
fast.
sprinted. Yeah. Crazy. I do not want to sleep near here.
Don't forget to subscribe to see where we go next.
I had too many beers.